Oh my gosh, you guys did the most amazing conference. It's all over social media. It looks super successful. How do you do it? So it's true. It's actually a few months already. We wrap up the 2026 Level Up conference. It was absolutely amazing. We had lots of speakers, incredible speakers, by the way. The networking was next level, the excitement in the room. People really, really loved it.
Welcome to the Business Behind the Scene podcast with Francesca Moi, where we talk all about real business problems, real solutions, and getting actual results in your business.
Hello, and welcome. So today, I really wanted to share some of the biggest business lessons I took away from planning, not just this conference, but to be honest, we've been in event business for over 12 years. So we've learned a lot about running events, and it's not that I don't want to be humble here, but hey, we put some really good shows on. And so I wanted to share that the show, the conferences, the events, they're not easy to run, right? It's easy when people look at it, but it's actually so much to do. This can also apply to a normal business, to a clinic, to every day, because at the end of the day, the success is not overnight. There's no such a thing as overnight success. And so we want to show you what we did, and you can definitely apply this on other way as well. So everybody, if you have not been here before, it's Francesca Moi, and this is Business Behind the Scenes. So welcome. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you do, leave us a nice comment, review, whatever you want. So the lessons that we're going to share today are a few. So we're going to start with lesson number 1. Success happened long before the event. And you might resonate on this in business as well, right? It doesn't happen overnight. The conference was a success months before the attendees walked through those doors, right? It took a lot of work, a lot of planning, a lot of marketing, a lot of systems, a lot of budgeting, speakers coordination, clients coordinations, team coordination. We flew our team from the Philippines to come and help us a month before. So yeah, we were like all over it. Business owners often want the quick win, but the truth is it does take time. So what we're going to share with you today is the behind the scene works on running an event like that. I actually wrote a book about, oh my goodness, I think it was about 10 years ago now. Did I write a book 10 years ago? Oh my gosh, that's a long time ago. Natasha and I wrote that book together. It's called The Bums and Seats. And we talk about the 3 Ps: promote, prepare, and profit. So if you want to run an event, people think that they have to focus on just the profit, but actually the biggest part is the promotion and also then the preparation. But if you don't promote and you don't get momentum and people that are starting to say, yes, I'm coming to this event, then there's no point for you to prepare. There's no point for you to start everything else. I actually do them in that order. So first I promote it. When I start to get some people that say, yes, I'm coming, then I start to prepare and I get a lot of preparation. And then obviously the profit will come because of these 2 things. Results are usually visible at the finish line, but they are created way, way, way long before anybody even see them, even know that they're existing. And this happens for businesses, for marathon, when you want to get in shape. It doesn't happen overnight, right? It's years and years of commitment, of decisions, and of consistency. Now, lesson number 2, great teams make growth possible. Well, my team were absolutely the key bone of this event. Definitely, I could have never done it by myself, and nobody ever could, right? You cannot really run such a high-level event by yourself. You need a team, you need supervisors. We had offshore support flying to Australia to have some fun and help us at the event. We had the event team, we had volunteers, lots of people, videographers, photographers, my partner, my mom, everybody was like jumping in to help. And everybody owned a different piece of the conference. It was so beautiful, especially like because we've been doing this for so many years. Everybody has a task and everybody has, for example, there was one person in charge of the stage. Whatever happened on the stage, it was that person. Whatever happened at the check-in table, it was another person. Whatever happened at the crew table, it was another person. Whatever happened in client's table, the attendees table, it was another person. So we had literally given everybody what role they take ownership of. And it was amazing because definitely it's not a one-person job. Impossible, right? A key takeaway here is that the bigger the vision, the more important your team will become. And that is something that a lot of people take for granted. Like, oh, I can do this by myself. I don't need many people. I actually even tried to outsource it on the outside. So get someone that is like a corporation that actually do events for people. But I found so much value to have my team know that, my team learn how to do events, because now we can do events, no problem, because we have created that process, we know exactly what to do and all of that. Now, this takes me to the lesson number 3. Something will go wrong. And this is like the beauty of events. And for people that are control freaks, it might be the hardest thing to accept, because there will be changes. Speakers change things last minute. I had the whole agenda done, everything was done. And then one speaker was like, oh, by the way, I cannot come on day 1. What? Okay, sure, no worries, we can make this work. And so we had to change the whole agenda, the whole prospect. Like, my team probably wanted to kill me. I added one speaker last minute. They were like, wait, what? I'm like, well, while we're making changes of day 1, day 2, might as well put another speaker in. The team were like, oh my goodness. So that is not really recommended, but hey, I did it and we did a good job, and it was a fantastic speaker. So it was a great idea. Tech issues will happen. So on the first day, we got there to set everything up the day before the conference, and one of the screens were not working. So from stage, we could not see the PowerPoint unless you turn around and look at the back, which was not very professional. So the AV guy that has actually been running events with us for 7 years, he was amazing. And he was like, all right, no worries, tonight I'll drive back to the warehouse and I'm going to bring new screens. So that happened. Microphones issues, PowerPoint issues, right? The speakers want to use different PowerPoints, and yeah, like drama, tech drama all the time. Attendees request, dietary request, want to bring a second person, or maybe that person cannot come. So much happens with behind the scenes. So again, expect changes, expect challenges. Like, it's not going to be smooth, it's impossible. And if you just know that's what's going to happen, then you're sweet, it's fine, right? Sometimes business owners, we spend way too much energy trying to avoid problems rather than focusing on trying to solve problems and solve them quickly. I mean, there is a whole thing that I can talk about this. We don't really want to be too much on solving problems all the time, because then you become a person that attracts problems so that you can solve them. I did that for many years. But also, we don't want to expect that things will go perfect, because then if we had that expectation, it might disappoint us. And then it's going to be really hard for your energy to run an event if you are already starting disappointed. So expect changes, expect challenges. It's all good. Growth doesn't come from avoiding problems. It comes from becoming better and handling them, and the way that you actually emotionally deal with them, because your team will see you how you deal with problems and will mirror that. So if you are someone that stresses out on problems, you go crazy, you go anxious and all of that, your team will definitely follow on the energy. It's very important that when there's a problem, you're like, yep, I knew that was going to happen. All good. Let's focus on the solution. What are we going to do? And everybody works together on brainstorming what's going to happen, how we're going to fix it, and it's done. It's fixed. Now, lesson number 4, customers are the key, right? This conference was for customers. So customer experience matter more than we think. So important. One of the clients, actually many of them, the feedback from this conference was, this was the most organized event I haven't been in my life. How did you guys do that? People also usually say, it's so meticulous, you thought about every details. How did you do that? So how do we do it is that literally we plan every event that we do thinking on the recipient, so the customer. So when they're walking in, what type of energy do they want to feel at the registration? Before they even come in, what's the type of communication that they want to receive? When we are setting up the rooms, we're thinking about every table. I got to the event, this is a good story, and the tables were all set up like the venues. I don't know like what they're thinking, but every table was facing straight ahead, right? So there is like the stage in the middle, and every table was facing forward. And I'm on stage and I'm looking and I'm thinking, that table is going to have to go to chiropractor for 2 weeks after this event, because they're going to be like this the whole time, like turning on the side. This table is going to have the other side broken. This table, like, I was like, no, we got to think about the client experience. They need to be comfortable. So I got this venue to change every single table facing towards the the stage. I'm like, if I cannot see the point of the table from where I am on stage, that means they're going to be uncomfortable, and that's not going to be a good experience for them. Now, it seems some small details. I remember years ago, my team would call me the seat Nazi, because I literally would go myself and change every seat in the place. Like, it was just my thing. But it also helps me from stage to feel connected to my audience way easier, way better. So if I let those little things, those little details go, it will affect the energy of the room. So for me, it's vital. And I believe that all these little details do adapt to the event flow. They do adapt to how people feel. We need to also think like the agenda. That's why when that speaker said I cannot come on day one, I was like, oh no, because it was like really, really difficult, because we want to make sure that the flow of the event also content-wise makes sense, because if not, they're going to be like, wait, what? We're talking about this now, we're talking about that now. It can be quite complicated for them. The other thing that is really important is the follow-up. So what happens when the event is finished? Like, it doesn't finish there, it doesn't end there. So lots of photos, lots of emails, lots of things that happen, because people love to feel that vibe continuing through the weeks after the event. The small details actually create the overall experience. And that's what I feel that most people don't focus on. And this is the same in business. It's about thinking about the details from the client perspective. So the client onboarding, the emails that they receive, the response times, the team communication, all the things that needs to happen for someone to have a 5-star experience. People remember how you made them feel long after they forget what you said. So I know, and this is why it's been one of the hardest things every year that we try to promote the conference. Everybody's like, it was amazing. It's like, yeah, but why? That's just how I felt. Like, it's really hard for people to put in words how amazing those events are, because the feeling is so strong. They felt connected to the audience, to the lots of networking. The speakers' content was absolutely amazing, like all of it together. So then this one leads me to lesson number 5, which is leadership is not about us, you, me. It's about serving. So when we were creating the event, the amount of value that I wanted to bring to this conference was next level. So I had a meeting with every speaker. I checked every single PowerPoint, and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but we need to change this. Like, this is not a pitch fest. I don't want this. I don't want that. So I had to do that, because it's important that people feel, wow, I got so much value. I got so much tangible stuff. The speakers are so generous, and that's what I wanted. That's why I handpick my speakers every time, to make sure that there are people that are understanding that the point of this conference is the value. There is many conferences that run on a day and they've got 20 speakers. It's like, how are you going to get any actual value from this? Like, you might get a little bit of inspiration from 20 speakers in one day, but you're not going to get value. You're not going to get the knowledge. You're not going to get to know them. Instead, our speakers spend an hour on stage. They go through details. They actually open the back doors and like show you how it is. And this is how you get value, right? Attendees needs to feel connected to each other. And also with the speakers, I always make sure that they do a lot of interaction, like asking questions. It's very important, because if someone speaks for an hour, people are going to switch off, right? It's going to be really hard. Business collaborations, connections, people need to leave feeling like, I can't wait for tomorrow. And this is why everybody comes back on day after. So as leaders, our job is not to do everything, but it's to make sure that we find the right collaboration. That's why the speakers are so important, to create an environment where everybody feel they're going to get lots of value and lots of success from it. So the best leaders create opportunities for others to grow. So my team in this section, they wanted me to share a couple of questions that people sometimes want to ask me after the conference. Question number 1 was, what surprised me the most about this conference? Now, everybody would know at the time, I was about 3 months pregnant. So what surprised me the most was my energy. I have to be honest, I was like, what is going on? I thought I was going to be exhausted. I thought I was going to be in pain. I don't know where I found the energy, but I do know, because events always energize me. I love running events. and I felt home. I was like, this is my place. Absolutely love it. So that's what surprised me the most. What would I do different next time? Well, you know what? It's really hard, this question, because what would I do different? I don't want to sound cocky, but hey, it was quite a good conference. Maybe what I would do different, I might be able to see if I can do both days finishing at 3 p.m. so that business owners can go and do the things. But in saying that, I love the value that we give in that time that we had. So I don't know about that. So I'm not sure actually what I would do different, because as I said, we've been doing this for many years. The first event that we ran was in 2014. So definitely, and we used to run about 100 events a year. So, I mean, we have nailed it. We have nailed how to run events. And that's why people feedback is usually like, you guys run the best events ever. So I'm proud of our team. I'm proud of what we created. I'm proud that every time it gets better and better. So that's why it's so hard to say what I would do different, because we have improved it and improved it and improved it and improved it every time. So that's a really hard question to answer. What feedback impacted me the most? Well, to be honest, when people stop me or my team and they say, this is the most organized event I've ever been to, that fills my heart, because we know that we work so hard for it, but when people recognize it, it's so beautiful. I'm here looking back, and honestly, every time we do the event, we are all a little bit exhausted. It's a lot of work, right? I'm incredibly grateful for everybody that took the time to come to the event, because without them, there wouldn't be an event. I'm grateful to the speakers, the sponsors, the team members, the people that supported us to make this conference possible, my partner, my mom, our volunteers. But the biggest lesson that I wanted to share with you is that businesses grow when leaders stop trying to carry everything on themselves. And I was literally talking to someone yesterday, and I was talking about that in business as well. It would be sometimes easier for me to go and do something myself. But if I keep doing the things by myself, I'm never going to be able to have a support team, literally like people around me that can help me to make this greater, right? I wouldn't be able to do everything. So I need to let go of something. The conference reminded me that the vision required great people, clear systems, and a willingness to really trust them. Because if I don't trust others, forget it. It's never going to happen. So that's exactly what we help our clients do every day. If they trust their team, then their life is so much easier. And so I hope that what you get out of this episode here today is, if you don't run events, you can definitely implement this in your business, because it's all about doing things from the heart. And I believe that events are the best way for business owners to grow, expand, get out of the day-to-day, and really focus on the business. A lot of people, unfortunately, don't do enough in the year, right? So I always recommend at least to go to 1 or 2 events a year, because the consistency, the compound effect, that will create a success in your business, in your event, in everything that you do. Have a fabulous day. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you at the next episode. Thank you so much for listening to this amazing podcast. Now, if you enjoyed this, you're definitely going to love my Facebook group, where I've got over 11,000 people in it, and they're all business owners successful like you. It's called the Successful Entrepreneur Lounge, and in there I do classes every week, and I get to interview my clients, and I get to teach you all the things that I've done to get my business to 100K plus a month. So I look forward to have you in there. It's called the Successful Entrepreneur Lounge Facebook group in Facebook. I look forward to see you there. Ciao.